I've also heard the argument that perhaps the falling buildings just generated this nanothermite. Well, no. Okay, first, as an experimental physicist, I actually took some dust from buildings that were destroyed by controlled demolition. There's a bank in Salt Lake City and a hotel in Las Vegas. And so people collected the dust and sent those into our laboratory. We looked in the dust and there were, believe it or not, no red-gray chips, okay? It relates to the second law of thermodynamics, but I probably won't go into that detailed argument. I'll just say, if you imagine these chips which are highly active, it's like a match head. And say you have the ingredients of a match head in a building. Okay, sulfur, carbon, whatever else they put in the match head, and then the thing falls. And do you find little match head ingredients from a building falling? I mean, no. It has to do with under chaotic circumstances, things go downhill, not uphill, okay? It's the second law of thermodynamics. I have to talk to students about this, excuse my impatience, but second law of thermodynamics has to do with increasing entropy and disorder, not order. These red-gray materials have very orderly sheets containing aluminum, these platelets, and these grains containing the iron oxide, again, are of uniform size, very orderly. And furthermore, if it's from a collapsing building, where does all this carbon come from for the matrix? It's just mind-boggling. A colleague of mine asked various nanoscientists if they thought that a falling building could create this material, which I thought was great because he got them to consider our study. But 100% of these nanoscientists contacted said no. There's no way that a falling building can create this sophisticated material that we report in our paper. Now, back to the chain of custody. So it's not just from collapsing buildings. It did come from the dust of the World Trade Center, and as I said, samples were sent separately to Dr. Fair and to myself. These samples all show the same red-gray material. A separate sample was sent to a scientist, Mark Basil, and working in New England, and he also sees the same active red-gray thermitic material. I have to say one thing while I'm discussing the efforts by Mark Basil.